Yes, ladies and gentlemen, another edition of Student Body Right. I'm your ugly ass host. Week 2 of the college football season is in the books. It's actually week 3, as they call week 1 week 0, which is asinine and stupid. Don't get me started. But again, welcome to another edition. I will recap the top 25 action from week 2. We will also preview top 25 week 3 in college football. Did you watch? How did your team do? Were you pleasantly surprised? Did they stink? You have concerns? I've got shit to talk about. The first thing is, big boys, would you stop scheduling suck-ass teams that have no business being on the field with you? I know they're getting a big payday to come play you. Much like my Gators did against South Florida, by the way. And they lost. But let's run it down for you, shall we? The number 25 Utah Utes took on Cal Poly. Beat the hell out of them 63-9. Really, this is the kind of stuff the fans don't want to see. Maybe if you're a Utah fan, you want to see it. But look, this had a time and place, but it doesn't have a time and place anymore. It just doesn't. Utah should not be playing Cal Poly, but they did. Let's go over the stats, shall we? They used 4 separate quarterbacks there in this game for Cal Poly. Ty Diefenbach was 6 of 9, 82 yards, no touchdowns or pick. Leading rusher was Anthony Grigsby Jr., 10 carries, 25 yards. Cal Poly really couldn't muster up anything. Kian Salihai, 3 catches, 4 for 33. Kenny Olsen was their leading tackler with 11. For Utah, Devin Dampier, he was 17 of 23, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Utah ran the ball collectively 46 times for 273 yards and 5 touchdowns. Bert Ficklin with 2 rushing touchdowns and Naquan Rogers, 2 rushing touchdowns. Leading receivers, Ryan Davis, 6 for 58, a touch. Wayshawn Parker, 1 catch, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Leading tacklers were Paul Fitzgerald, Jackson Bene, 6 tackles and 5 total tackles. Team stats. Again, Cal Poly couldn't do anything. Utah was 9 of 3 on third down. Cal Poly was 3 of 13. Cal Poly turned it over twice. Utah, none. Rushing yards, Cal Poly 65 and 273 for Utah. Enough said. Ass whooping again. Stop scheduling cupcakes. It's annoying and asinine in today's world of college football. Again, Texas Tech beat the shit out of Kent State 62-14. Number 24th ranked Texas Tech. There's some believe will win the Big 12 this year. I wasn't one of them. My pick to win the Big 12 is sucking out loud over the first 3 weeks of the season. Kent State stats: Drew DeShield, 7 of 15, 115, a touchdown, no picks. Kent State couldn't run the ball, 34 carries, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. Leading receiver for the Flashes, Ardell Banks, 2 catches, 49 yards. Leading tacklers were Syed Abuhamende, 7 total tackles. Nylan Brown and Joel Portaba, each 7 total tackles. For Texas Tech, Bayron Morton was 18 to 26, 258 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Texas Tech rusher, the leader, Adam Hill, with 16 carries, 127 yards rushing. Leading receiver was Coy Eakin, 3 catches, 59 yards, and a touch. Although Reggie Virgil, 5 catches, 50 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Leading tackler was Ben Roberts with 6. We go to the team stats. Let me just pull my Verizon pad over here. Kent was 2 of 14 on third down. Texas Tech 6 of 13. Total yards, ladies and gentlemen. Texas Tech 601. Kent State 165. Again, scheduling cupcakes does you no good. Now, maybe Kent State had a great payday. Great for their program. So do Kent State any good either, just to get their ass kicked for a payday? I don't understand it. I don't get it. How are you supposed to get better by getting your ass kicked like that? And if the money speaks, whatever. Here, number 23 Indiana beat the shit out of Kennesaw State 56-9. It was really, for the most part, Cupcake City on Saturday. Kennesaw State, Amari Odom, 10 of 16, 176 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Kennesaw State rushing 32 carries, 89 yards collectively. Leading receiver for Kennesaw State was Lyndon Rivera, 2 catches, 72 yards. Leading tacklers Caleb Offord and Milan Jones with 7 total tackles apiece. For Indiana, Fernando Mendoza was 18 to 25, 245 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Lee Beebe Jr., 11 carries, 90 yards and a touch. Omar Cooper Jr., 1 carry for 75 yards and a touch. Indiana ran the ball collectively 38 times for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver was Elijah Surratt, 9 catches, 97 yards, 3 touchdowns. Leading tackler was Keelan Wyatt with 9 total tackles. Oh, there was something breaking as I was signing off on Early Inning Sports Buffet with the Ginch. The Philadelphia Eagles have traded with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags sent Tank Bigsby to the Eagles in exchange for, I believe I saw a 2026 and a 2027 pick. Future picks. That's what I thought I saw anyway. Leading tackler, like I said, for Indiana was Keelan Wyatt. 9 total tackles. Team stats. Cupcake City. Kennesaw State went for it on third down 13 times, converted twice. Total yards, Indiana 596. Kennesaw State 271. Ass whooping. Makes no sense to me. None. Again, maybe a great payday for Kennesaw State towards their athletic program. I don't know. Just to get bludgeoned to death for a payday. Okay. Another one. Number 22, Tennessee took on East Tennessee State, beat the shit out of them 72-17. What does it accomplish? What does something like this accomplish? If you want to go for the money, you want to get your ass kicked, more power to you. East Tennessee State stats. Cade McNamara was 11 of 18, 85 yards, with touchdown, no picks. Rushing the ball, collectively 28 carries for 49 yards. Leading receiver for East Tennessee was Cole Keller, 3 catches, 47 yards. Leading tacklers were Dre Delanois and Teddy Wilson with 8 total tackles apiece. For Tennessee, Joey Aguilar and Jake Merklinger, each with 2 touchdown passes. Aguilar was 23 of 31, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Leading rusher was Star Thomas, 12 for 69 and 3 rushing touchdowns. Leading receivers were Chris Brezel II, 9 for 125 and 2 touchdowns. Mike Matthews, 6 for 111 and a tutty. Leading tackler Arian Carter and Bryson East, 4 total tackles apiece. We go to the team stats. East Tennessee was 2 of 15 on third down. Tennessee was 10 of 14. Total yards, ladies and gentlemen. Tennessee 734. 67. Again, what does this accomplish? If you're scoring 72 points against, I don't know, Georgia, it's a different story. Somebody make it make sense. Number 21, Alabama beat Louisiana Monroe 73 to nothing. Louisiana Monroe stats. Aiden Armenta, 8 of 14, 28 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Collectively, 32 carries for 93 yards for Monroe. Alabama, they used 3 separate quarterbacks: Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Keelan Russell. 7 passing touchdowns between the 3 of them. No interceptions. 371 yards passing. Again, what does this do for your confidence? Hey, we beat the shit out of Louisiana Monroe. A.K. Deere was the leading rusher, 5 for 76 and a touchdown. Alabama receiving, Hermie Bernard, 3 for 67, 2 touchdowns. Leading tackler James Smith, Deontay Lawson, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., 4 total tackles apiece. Team stats. All you need to know. Alabama total yards 583. Louisiana Monroe 148. No turnovers for Alabama. Louisiana Monroe turned it over 3 times. Again, ass whooping of immense proportions. Again, Louisiana Monroe wants the payday and they want to get their ass kicked. Whatever. I just don't see what it does, what the benefit is of having to go to Alabama just to get your ass kicked for what, $1.5 million towards your program? Number 20, Ole Miss went on the road, avenged last year's loss to Kentucky. They went 30-23, although it was nip and tuck there for a while. Ole Miss did what they needed to do to win. Last year, they would have lost this game, as they did last year. Austin Simmons for Ole Miss, 13-24, 235 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, which kind of kept Kentucky in the game. Ole Miss rushing, Kawan Lacey had a day, 28 of 138 and a touchdown. Ole Miss receiving, Harrison Wallace III, 4 catches, 117 yards. Leading tacklers for Ole Miss, Xavier Harris, TJ Dottery, and Jaden Yates, 6 total tackles apiece. For Kentucky, Zach Calzada, 15-30, 149, no touchdowns, no picks. Seth McGowan had a good day rushing the football, 15-93 and 2 touchdowns. Jamori Macklin at 2 catches, 56 yards, was their leading receiver. Kentucky defense, Alex Safari Jr. and Ty Bryant with 10 total tackles apiece. We go to the team stats, ladies and gentlemen. Ole Miss turned it over twice, Kentucky none, which kind of kept Ole Miss into the game. And it was actually kind of even. But the thing that sort of killed Kentucky, they just couldn't really make the big play. I mean, Ole Miss was 3 of 13 on third down. Kentucky was 5 of 6, 5 of 16. And again, it was a close game throughout. Ole Miss seems to sort of play down to the competition. But Kentucky has them in what they've been the last couple of years. Ole Miss with a big SEC victory on the road. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see. Ole Miss, Kentucky. Out of conference, I want to see, like, I don't know, let's say Alabama playing Michigan. I want to see Indiana not play Kennesaw State and beat the shit out of them. How about Indiana goes out and plays, I don't know, Utah? Number 19, Texas A&M beat Utah State 44-22. See, something like this. Texas A&M, Utah State hasn't been what they've been. But at least it wasn't 73-0. Texas A&M comes away with the win 44-22. Utah. Bryson Barnes was 15 of 30, 169, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Utah State rushing Miles Davis, 10 for 50. Utah State receiving, the leader was Brady Boyd at 6 catches, 87 yards. And Utah State defensively, leading tackler was Brevin Hamblin with 8 total tackles. A lot of you, I know, will be probably switching over to watch the Minnesota-Chicago game. I'm waiting for it to come on myself. Again, I took Minnesota to win the game against Chicago. Don't trust Caleb Williams. Texas A&M stats. Marcel Reed, 19 of 28, 223 touchdowns, no picks. Le'Veon Moss and Marcel Reed, each with 10 carries, over 60 yards, and a touchdown apiece. The leading receiver, Mario Craver, 5 catches, 114, and a touchdown. And KC Concepcion, 6 catches, 73 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. Leading tackler for A&M's defense, Scooby Williams, 6 total tackles. We go to the team stat, shall we? Texas A&M controlled the ball, basically running the football with almost 35 minutes of clock time. Rushing yardage, Texas A&M 235, Utah State 78. Utah State was 2 of 14 on third down. A&M 5 of 13. Hence the ball control. They walk away with a 44-22 W. In a game that I didn't think either team really wanted to win, Baylor goes on the road and beats number 17 SMU in overtime. SMU sort of had this game won, and then they just sort of collapsed. And SMU, Baylor with the big victory in OT. For Baylor, Sawyer Robertson was 34-50, 440 yards, 4 touchdown passes, no picks. SMU's passing defense was nowhere to be seen. Bryson Washington for Baylor, 31, 115, 2 touchdowns. Baylor receiving, Josh Cameron and Ashton Hawkins each had 9 and 10 catches respectively, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 145 yards. Keaton Thomas, 10 total tackles. For SMU, Kevin Jennings, 16 of 22, 295, 3 touchdowns and a pick. TJ Harden, the big day rushing, 19, 115, 3 rushing touchdowns. Romelio Brinson, 4 catches, 126 yards, 2 touchdowns receiving. Isaiah Nwokobia, 12 total tackles. Team stats. Really, it was, Baylor had 601 yards of total offense, SMU 458. Baylor turned it over twice, SMU once. The thing that sort of killed SMU was they were 5 of 13 on third down, and Baylor was 8 of 18. And Baylor just made one more play than SMU did. A big win for Baylor to get them off to Schneid. we'll see how SMU responds. And that's a demoralizing win, potentially. Battle for the Cyhawk Trophy, ladies and gentlemen. Number 16, Iowa State. Again, over Iowa. Third time in 4 years, I believe. Iowa passing Mark Gronowski. 13-24, only 83 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Again, Iowa, just the last 5 years, passing the ball with no quarterback. It's just been their Achilles heel, unfortunately. Always had the defense to compete. Just when you can't move the ball and you can't score them more than 20 points a game with the defense they have, you're not going to win a lot of games. So Jazian Patterson, 11 carries, 60 yards, was their leading rusher. Jacob Gill, 5 catches, 52 yards. Jaden Harrell, 9 total tackles for Iowa. Iowa State, Rocco Beck did his thing, 18-27, 134 yards, touchdown, no picks. Abu Sama III, 12 carries for 47 yards. Leading receiver for Iowa State was Brett Eskildson, 2 catches, 39 yards. Marcus Neal Jr., 9 total tackles. Look, this game could have gone either way. Normally does. Look, this Iowa State made one more play than Iowa did. Again, if you watch the game, like I did, it was a defensive battle. It was a slobber knocker. And this, throughout the last 4 years, Iowa State's had Iowa's number. Matt Campbell. Now, I'm still waiting. I've seen this before from Matt Campbell's teams. Now, last year, Iowa State had a fantastic year. They always start out strong. We'll have to see how this propels them. One of the big games of the day, which turned out not so much for Michigan. Can we pump the brakes on Bryce Underwood for a second? Number 18, Oklahoma over number 15, Michigan, 24-13. It's a big win for Oklahoma. Still need to see it consistently from Oklahoma, though. Brett Venables, some of the teams as he had. Yeesh. For Michigan, Underwood was 9-24, 142, a touchdown, no picks. Arguing with his teammates on the sideline, by the way. Justin Haynes, 19 carries, 125, and a touch. Donovan McCulley, 3 catches, 91 yards. Michigan's defense, Ernest Hausman with 11 total tackles. For Oklahoma, John Mateer, 21-34, 270 yards, a touchdown. Pick. He was the leading rusher. That needs to change. 19 carries, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns rushing. Deion Burks, leading receiver for Oklahoma, 7 for 101 and a touchdown. Owen Heineke, 7 total tackles for the Sooners. Oklahoma turned it over twice, which sort of kept Michigan into the game, to be honest with you. Really, the passing game for Oklahoma came up big, and the fact that, look, Oklahoma turned it over twice, Michigan none. But Michigan was 3 of 14 on third down. Oklahoma was 9 of 17. So even though Oklahoma had 2 turnovers, Michigan really couldn't do shit with it. So big win for Oklahoma. I am trying to see. Give me just a second. Of course, I can't get the game because it's screwing me. I can't watch the Minnesota-Chicago game. Again, here's another cupcake city. Number 14, Florida State beat East Texas A&M. I didn't even know there was an East Texas A&M. 77-3. You know what? I'm not going to go over stats because I just think it's asinine and atrocious that the big boys continue to schedule cupcakes. So I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it. My Gators, 12th ranked at the time, 13th ranked. South Florida goes into Gainesville and beats them. Billy Napier, I don't even know what they're waiting for. It's just a horrible loss for Florida. Really is horrible. With the schedule they have coming up, they're lucky if they go 4-8. It was just a pathetic performance. Give all the credit to South Florida. Had the energy, had the belief. Florida was just playing not to lose. They lost. For South Florida, Byron Brown, 23 of 36, 263 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He also was the leading rusher, 17 for 66. Deshaun Singleton, 2 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. Leading tackler for South Florida was Mark Harris, 10 total tackles. For Florida, DJ Lagway had moments. He was 23 of 33, 222, a touchdown and a pick. Jaden Baugh, good to see him running the football, 18 carries, 93 yards. Eugene Wilson, 7 catches, 60 yards and a touchdown for the Gators. Jaden Robinson, 9 total tackles for the Gators. South Florida took care of the football. Florida turned it over once. Really, Florida was 4 of 12 on third down. South Florida, 6 of 16. South Florida outgained the Gators. Gators actually controlled the clock. But when you can't move the ball and you can't convert on third down. And of course, there was the spitting. That seems to be the new thing. Is to just spit on somebody. Shit's going bad, just spit on. Find somebody and just spit on them. Because that's the mature thing to do. Like, what are you thinking? Cameras are on you. Cameras are going to pick everything up. Period. Televised broadcast, cameras everywhere. They're going to pick it up. But that's the new thing. Shit's going bad. You don't like it. Shouldn't be spitting on a man or a woman or a child, period. Mississippi State took out number 12 Arizona State, 24-20. Good for Mississippi State, by the way. Falling on hard times last couple of years, especially with Mike Leach passing away a couple of years ago. Good to see they get a signature win like this. Could propel them to some better things. Arizona State passing, Sam Levitt had a horrible day, 10 of 22, 82 yards, a touchdown, threw 2 interceptions. Look, running the ball, Arizona State was fantastic. 51 carries collectively, 251 yards and a touchdown. Raleek Brown and Kanye Udo, each over 100 yards rushing. Arizona State defense, Kayshawn Elliott, 8 total tackles. For Mississippi State, Blake Shapen, 19 of 33, 279, 3 passing touchdowns, no picks. That's the important stat. Mississippi State really couldn't run the football, 30 carries, 66 yards. Mississippi State receiving, Brennan Thompson and Anthony Evans III, each with over 100 yards receiving. Brennan Thompson, 2 total touchdowns receiving. Anthony Evans, 1. Nick Mitchell, Jerron Manning, 9 total tackles apiece. Team stats, Arizona State was horrible on third down, 3 of 14. Mississippi State was 6 of 14. But again, Arizona State with the 2 turnovers, Mississippi State took care of the ball. Hence the victory. Arizona State actually held the ball for 37, almost 38 minutes. Mississippi State 22. But look, turn the ball over twice. Can't run it. You can't pick up third downs. It was a highly competitive game. And I enjoyed watching it. Some people don't like the low scoring games, but I do. Number 11, Illinois beat Duke 45-19. A lot of people picked Duke to win this game. I was not one of them. I thought it might be a little bit closer score than it was. But Illinois, again, in the Big Ten, picked Illinois to make the playoffs. Just watch out for this team. They're sneaky good. Sneaky good. Showed me a lot on the road. Illinois passing, Luke Altmaier was 22 of 31, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Caden Fagan, 17 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Leading rusher. Hank Beatty, 8 receptions, 128 yards, was the leading receiver. Mike Scott, Matthew Bailey, Dylan Rosiek, 6 total tackles apiece on defense. For Duke, Darian Mensah, 23 of 34, 334, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Collectively, Duke ran the ball 24 times for 82 yards. Cooper Barkate, 4 catches, 88 yards, the leading receiver. Caleb Weaver, 9 total tackles for Duke. The team stats, Duke turned it over 5 times. Illinois, none. Need I say more on why Illinois won the game? Turn the ball over 5 times, and the other team doesn't turn it over at all. More than likely, you're not winning a football game. Number 10, South Carolina beat South Carolina State 38-10. Game wasn't close. Again, a lot of people are saying watch out for South Carolina this year. South Carolina State passing, William Atkins IV, 10 of 14, 118, no touchdowns, no picks. Collectively, South Carolina couldn't win the football, 34-62. Jalen Johnson, the leading receiver, 5 catches, 67 yards receiving. Excuse me, Tyler Jones, 6 total tackles for South Carolina State. South Carolina, Lenora Sellers, pedestrian, 11 for 19, 128, a touchdown, but more importantly, no picks. South Carolina rushing the football 36 times for 125 yards collectively, excuse me. South Carolina receiving, Vandrevius Jacobs, 4 for 57 and a touch. DQ Smith, 6 total tackles. Again, we go to the team stats. South Carolina State actually won the battle time of possession. They only run the ball for 62 yards. South Carolina ran it for 124. But South Carolina State actually outgained South Carolina. But South Carolina just came up with some massive plays, big plays, to win the game. So South Carolina with the in-state W. Number 8, Clemson beat Troy 27-16, but Clemson does not look good. They have not looked good. The first half against LSU, they look good. Since then, they haven't looked good. Now, in the second half against Troy, I don't know what was said at halftime, but the message was received. But they were up against it there for a while. I don't think Troy scored in the second half. This game was delayed by weather as well. Troy passing, Goose Crowder, 19 of 31, 223, a touchdown, 3 picks. That's what kind of like turned the tide. Tame Meadows, 16 carries, 76 yards rushing. Trey Taylor, 4 catches, 69 yards and a touch. Devin Lafayette, 7 total tackles for Troy. Clemson, K. Klubnik, 18 of 24, 196, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Adam Randall, 21 carries, 112 yards and a touchdown. Bryant Westcott Jr., have a day, 7 catches, 118, 2 touchdowns receiving. Wade Woodaz turning out to be a defensive stalwart, 11 total tackles for Clemson. We go to the stats. Turnover fest. Troy 3, Clemson 2. Clemson was only penalized 3 for 30. Troy 10 of 97. But again, Clemson had some big plays in the second half, and the defense took over. That's really why Clemson won the game. Whatever was said at the half, I think the message was clearly received. Number 7, Texas beat San Jose State 38-7. Look, stop talking about the Arch Manning and him wincing in pain. when he was throwing the ball in that one play. It looked to me like he wasn't once in pain. He let the ball go. He knew it wasn't going to be complete, and he was like, "Oh shit, I should have made a better pass." It was like, shoot, enough. San Jose State, Walter Egat, 21-42, 188, no touchdowns and a pick. Collectively, San Jose State, 29 carries, 84 yards, 85 yards. Kyrie Scholes, 8 catches, 73 yards receiving. Tanila Latu, the leading tackler, with 8. For Texas, Arch Manning was 19-30, 295, 4 touchdown passes, 1 pick. CJ Baxter, the leading rusher, 13-64. Leading receiver, Parker Livingstone, had a day. 4 catches, 128, and 2 touchdowns. Michael Tafe, 8 total tackles. We go to the team stats. San Jose State turned it over 4 times. Texas only twice. Texas won the running battle. I will say this about Texas. They're only 2 of 12 on third down. They just had some huge plays in the game. But that needs to change. And they need to run the ball more effectively. I know they had 155 yards rushing collectively, but that really needs to change. And I picked them as my national champion, by the way. Number 6, Oregon took Oklahoma State behind the woodshed. Beat him 69-3. I don't think Mike Gundy is going to be the coach for Oklahoma State after this. He may not even make it through the season. My buddy Scott Wright out there, who covers Oklahoma State, doesn't really probably foresee him being the coach next year after this year. But if it continues on this path, I don't think he makes it through the season. You know what? Again, a beating like this, not going to go over the stats. It's just useless. Just all you need to know is Oregon kicked the shit out of them. Here's another one. Number 5, Miami over Bethune-Cookman. Again, Cupcake City, not going to go over the stats. Number 4, Georgia, struggled with Austin Peay, by the way. They only won 28-6. Looking ahead to Tennessee. That's what happened there. Number 3, LSU over Louisiana Tech, 23-7. Again, LSU might be looking ahead to other opponents. Penn State, number 2, Penn State struggled with Florida International for a while, but pulled away 34-0. And again, number 1, Ohio State beat the shit out of Grambling, 70-0. I'm not even going to go over stats with shit like that because it's just, what good does it do? What good does it? Forget it. I'm not going to go over it. Grambling got a great payday out of this. Come to Ohio State, get the shit kicked out of you. Then I digress. But that doesn't do your players or your program any good to get your ass kicked 70-0 for what, $1.5 million payday towards your athletic department. Is it worth it? I don't know. I have no idea. So, week 3 preview. Of the top 25 this week. I will go down the list as these are scheduled, and then I will save my game of the week and make my pick. On Friday at 6:30, the Indiana States take on the Indianas. Number 22, Indiana, by the way. Indiana should win this game handily. I'll go Indiana 45, Indiana State 7. Well, that's on the BTN network, by the way. At 12 p.m. on Fox. Number 4, Oregon travels to take on Northwestern. The spread's 27.5. I don't think Northwestern stands a chance in hell. I'll go Oregon 44, Northwestern 10. Number 12, Clemson takes on Georgia Tech at 12 p.m. this Saturday on ESPN. Clemson's favored by 9.5. Georgia Tech's looked good. Clemson has not. A lot of people are going to take Clemson just because I think it was a wake-up call this past Saturday. I'm sorry. Until I see it from Clemson, I'm taking Georgia Tech in the upset. Georgia Tech 28, Clemson 24. 12 p.m. on ESPN2 on Saturday. Number 13, Oklahoma travels to take on Temple's 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. The Fighting Owls. Spread's 24.5. I so want to take Temple plus the points. But Oklahoma showed me something last week. This is at Lincoln Financial Field. I think Temple puts up a fight for a while. I'm going to go Oklahoma 40, Temple 17. 12 p.m. on ABC, the Wisconsins travel down there to Tuscaloosa. Number 19, Alabama takes on Wisconsin. Alabama's favored by 20.5. Did we really learn anything by Alabama beating the shit out of Louisiana Monroe? No. Really don't know what we have in either team, but I think Wisconsin puts up a fight for a while, but I think Alabama wins. I'm going to go Alabama 40, Wisconsin 20. 12 p.m. on the BTN network. Central Michigan travels to take on number 23, Michigan. Michigan favored by 27.5. This is a get-right game for Michigan. I'm going to go Michigan 41, Central Michigan 10. 12:45 p.m. South Alabama travels to take on number 24, Auburn. Auburn favored by 24.5. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Auburn. I don't know if they cover. I'm going to go Auburn 31, South Alabama 10. At 3:30 p.m. on FS1, Villanova travels to take on number 2, Penn State. My buddy Tom Fallon up there in the Lehigh Valley, Penn State grad, Penn State fan. He says Penn State's overrated. I think Penn State wins this game easily. Penn State 44, Villanova 10. 3:30 p.m. on Fox, Oregon State travels to take on number 21, Texas Tech. Texas Tech favored by 23.5. Oregon State falling on some hard times. I think this is a bludgeoning. I'm going to go Texas Tech 49, Oregon State 10. At 4 p.m., number 14, Iowa on ESPN2. Number 14, Iowa State takes on Arkansas State. Iowa State's favored by 20.5. Always worried about the letdown after coming off an emotional victory for the Cy-Hawk Trophy against Iowa. I think Matt Campbell has this team pointed in the right direction. Iowa State 42, Arkansas State 14. 4 p.m. on ESPN Plus and ASCC Network Plus. Louisiana takes on number 25, Missouri. Mizzou favored by 27.5. Mizzou 40, Louisiana 13. 4:15 p.m. on the SEC Network. We have number 7, Texas taking on UTEP. Texas is favored by 41.5. Don't know what to do. I think Texas wins the game. They'll probably cover. I'll go Texas 44, UTEP 3. A biggie, number 4:30 on the CW network. Number 18, South Florida on the road to take on number 5, Miami. Miami's favored by 18.5. Again, South Florida coming off an emotional game against Florida. Second straight road game. Miami, did we really learn anything about them playing Bethune-Cookman? No. South Florida will cover. But Miami wins the game. Miami 31, South Florida 17. 7 p.m. on the Peacock. Number 1, Ohio State takes on Ohio. 31.5 point favorite is Ohio State. Ohio won the MAC last year, but going into the shoe late at night. Ohio State 45, Ohio 10. 7 p.m. on FS1, we got the Western Michigans taking on number 9, Illinois. Illinois is favored by 27.5. Illinois should win this easily. Illinois 44, Western Michigan 7. 7 p.m. Arkansas taking on number 17 Ole Miss. Both undefeated. SEC matchup. Mississippi favored by 8.5. Closer than the experts think. Ole Miss 31, Arkansas 24. 7:30 p.m. on ABC. My Florida Gators travel to take on number 3 LSU. LSU is over favored by 9.5. Somebody knows something that I don't. The way Florida looks, yeah. LSU 35, Florida 21. 7:30 p.m. Number 16 Texas A&M takes on number 8 Notre Dame. NBC and Peacock. Notre Dame is favored by 6.5. If Notre Dame starts up 0-2, they may not make the playoff. Notre Dame needs the W. Notre Dame 27, Texas A&M 24. 7:45 p.m. on the SEC network. Vanderbilt takes on number 11 South Carolina. South Carolina favored by 5.5. This is one of my sneaky good games of the week. I want to take Vandy in the upset, but I can't do it just because South Carolina's at home. South Carolina 27, Vanderbilt 24. 8 p.m. the CBS Sports Network, number 20 Utah taking on Wyoming. Wyoming undefeated. Utah undefeated at 2-0 apiece. Utah is favored by 22.5. I think Wyoming puts up a fight for a little bit, but Utah, just defensively, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm going to go Utah 41, Wyoming 17, which comes to the game of the week. And another edition of Who Gets the Finger? Number 6 Georgia, and number 15 Tennessee. This is at 3:30 p.m. Dave, let's throw him up there. Mr. Wallencheck. DW, what's up, Ryan? Thanks for tuning in, DW. Good to hear from you. Let's put it up there again. That's right. Thanks for tuning in to Student Body Right. This again, ABC, 3:30 p.m. Number 6 Georgia, number 15 Tennessee. Tennessee's starting corners are out for this game again. Second week in a row, they're going to be out. Doesn't bode well. I know Georgia struggled against Marshall. Tennessee beat the shit out of East or West or East Southwest Tennessee, wherever the hell they played last week. Doesn't really tell me much. Until Tennessee can prove to me they can beat Georgia. Spread's 3.5. So the bookmakers are giving Tennessee some love. Just some love because they're at home. Dave Wallencheck says, need to get you back on the show. Yeah, man, anytime. Let me know. I'm there. All kinds of shit that I can talk about, my friends. Missing corners for Tennessee. Georgia just seems to have Tennessee's number. Some people will be on Tennessee because it's at home. I'm not one of those people. So let me go to it. If I can pull it up here. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, yes, Georgia, you and your fans, you, my friends, get the finger. Georgia will win this game 33-20. Oh, and I forgot to play. Now, it's the Georgia Fight Song Facebook. So you can kiss my ass because anything before 1923, and this is way before 1923, it's not under copyright infringement. Ladies and gentlemen, Georgia, the fan base, you, my friends, get the finger. playing. But anyway, there you have it. That's right, Georgia and your fans. You, my friends, get the finger this week. Georgia 31, Tennessee 20. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in. I got to check what the Minnesota Chicago score is. I don't even know because I can't even get the game. Again, thanks to everybody that tunes in. Thanks, Dave, for tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your state senators, tell your representatives, tell Congress, tell the Senate, tell everybody. So there you have it. Georgia gets the finger. Enjoy the college football games this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back on tomorrow on the Cole County Entertainment Network for another edition of Early Eating Sports Buffet with the Ginch. That's at 7. Then at 8 o'clock, end zone to end zone. I got all kinds of stuff to talk about with week 1 in the NFL. I'll go over the stats. We'll get more in depth about it. But again, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Once again, I'm going to play us out. Georgia, you get the finger.